So the movie starts off with Silver Surfer pulling up to Earth to tenderize this bitch for Galactus. And this nigga is so cold that he's making it snow in Egypt. His sheer presence alone turned off every light in Los Angeles. Meanwhile, Reed and Sue are on their 4th attempt to get married, since they've been constantly interrupted due to being world famous heroes. This prompts Reed to promise Sue that he'll only be thinking about the wedding instead of the world being destroyed at any given moment. And Johnny uses that shit to convince him to have a bachelor party. He agrees under one condition: no strippers, only to get introduced to Cristal and Candy the minute he walks into the function. Got a couple shots and Gang is sitting on the couch explaining the Big Bang to the huz. Look at the facial expression these women are making. She did not care what bro was saying until he made that finger movement. But while Reed is trying to educate the huz, General Hager rolls up to the Baxter building, forces her to take him to Reed at that very instance, caught red-handed, getting fantastic on the dance floor. Hager takes him to the back, tells him that these anomalies have been happening all over the planet, and the US government needs his help to save the world. And bro respectfully declines, tells Hager that he promised his wife he'd focus on the wedding. But nigga, there won't be a wedding if there's no planet for the wedding to take place on. So the next day, they're all getting ready for the wedding. And Reed is finishing up a cosmic radiation detector to track where the Silver Surfer will show up next. Gets there late as hell, and they're halfway through their vows when Reed's alert starts buzzing in his pocket. And as the Silver Surfer zips overhead, like an EMT, he wipes out all the electronics in the area, causing a helicopter to almost murder the team. Sue Storm raises a force field before they can get flattened, while Ben saves Felicia Hardy from certain death. So with the Surfer still on the move, Reed sends the only person on the team that can fly, and Johnny burns a $20,000 designer suit. Nigga, I'd have took that shit off and folded it before I went to go catch him. So now Johnny's in hot pursuit of the Silver Surfer, and he is no match for the type of speed that Gang is putting out. He's about to catch up when Silver Surfer is heading directly for a building without slowing down, and goes straight through that bitch like butter. Like, why is bro aura farming like this? He had not one reason to do this shit, except to flex that he could. Knocks little bro out the way to get to his destination, and Johnny is acting like this shit is a race. It is not, as the Surfer is hitting Tony Hawk skateboard tricks on these fucking buildings. He follows this nigga into a tunnel, and as Gang is trying to use the cars as a weapon to murder Johnny Storm, he phases through the board, stands up on it upside down, just so he can look that nigga in the eye. And bro doesn't say a single word, yet it conveys everything you need to know. He is calling Johnny trash, dog water, garbage, and again flies away. But Johnny doesn't take the hint and keeps chasing until this nigga stops in the air, dead in his tracks, arm extended.
Why niggas keep talking about you going around talking about you fuck my father and shit?
You Lil Rodney's son?
Yes, I'm Lil Rodney's son.
You talking about Rodney with the fat ass butt?
Yo, why is you playing at me, yo?
My fault, OG.
Nah, ain't no my fault. Run your pockets, yo.
For what?
Don't kick them bitches out, yo.
For what?
No, matter of fact, I'm ready to go get Lil Travis on your bitch ass.
As Johnny's trying to apologize for the misunderstanding, the Silver Surfer flies above the atmosphere and drops him from space. Tries to turn his powers on halfway through the fall, but it doesn't work and he ends up in Dune 2. And bro has to explain to the rest of the team how there's this shiny nigga on a surfboard riding around the planet. And Ben has the nerve to be skeptical, talking from rock lips, old ashy ass limestone slappers. General Hager tells Reed to find another way to track him, while Johnny is dealing with the alien STD that Silver Surfer just gave him. When his powers shut off randomly and he falls out of the sky, Sue Storm tries to go pick him up, but the alien STD takes effect, and she turns into a goddamn inferno. Unable to control her powers, she floats away like a goddamn balloon, and Johnny attempts to save her, but ends up just going invisible. So Reed sees all this shit happening because it's happening directly outside of the Baxter building, and tells Johnny to touch Sue again to try to swap back powers, leaving her naked on the side of the street. Peak fan service. Reed takes them all back to his lab to see exactly what's going on, and reveals that the Silver Surfer rearranged Johnny's molecules, and that whole explanation gets cut short by the Thing hugging Johnny. Do you know how many chances this version of Ben Grimm has had to be human? This man is a generational bag fumbler, and this is where we get the cursed image of bricked up Chris Evans. Meanwhile, Dr. Doom is in the North Pole linking up with the Silver Surfer. He survived the last movie, and upon the Silver Surfer's arrival, it wakes him up from whatever weird coma he was in. And this nigga Victor triangulates his next position just to offer bro a business proposal. Tries to get a little team up together so they can rule the planet. He takes one good hard look at that nigga and calls him lame, and turns around to leave when Victor hits bro with a lightning bolt. So he hits back with some of that fire, but upon getting up, Victor realizes that his wounds are completely healed. So are you saying he absorbs energy, or does the Silver Surfer inadvertently heal niggas that he's trying to hurt? Meanwhile, Reed figures out that the Silver Surfer is going to be in London next, and it's not really much they can do to stop this nigga. So they try to run damage control by saving this Ferris wheel full of people. They pull a team maneuver where Sue holds up a force field, Ben lifts it up, and Reed keeps the entire thing together with his human body. With nothing else to do, Johnny tries to chase after the Silver Surfer. He accidentally bumps into Reed, causing them to switch powers. Mr. Fantastic on his big brain shit welds the Ferris wheel back in place. And after they're done saving the day, they look at the river and see that bitch is completely drained. Does this shit count as intergalactic terrorism? I'm not sure. But we cut to General Hager in the briefing room yelling at these niggas for fumbling the ball. Even though the military did absolutely nothing. Niggas couldn't catch the Silver Surfer or save the civilians. And what would these niggas do anyway? Shoot it? But General Hager tells him that he's bringing somebody else onto the project, Victor Von Doom. And he pulls up smooth as fuck in his leather jacket. Had the four looking like they just saw a ghost. But Ben presses that nigga instantly, threatens to break his neck if he breathes wrong. And goon number 4 ups the stick on Ben like that shit would be effective in any way, as General Hager tells him he has valuable information. The elite ball knowledge he obtained from recording the footage of his interaction with the Silver Surfer. From this, they figure out that the energy comes from the board. So Victor and Reed both scramble to create a device that can do it. So with this key to the puzzle of defeating the Silver Surfer, Victor, the Fantastic Four, and the entire military go to Germany. And General Hager tries to big dog Reed, tells this nigga he's the quarterback of the operation.
So let me make it clear for you and your pack of freaks here. I'm the quarterback. You're on my team. Got it?
Oh my God.
Probably the corniest bar you could have dropped as a US general. But bro is named Mr. Fantastic for a reason. Tells that nigga that he's smarter than him. His bitch is badder than his. He is this close to just suggesting a ban for ban. Starts calling bro Hager with the hard R. So the general chills out on bro, having absolutely no comeback. He knows everything said was purely factual. So the team goes to place these tachyon pulse devices. And while Sue Storm is placing hers down, the surfer levitates down on fine shit. Cause even an alien species can understand peak when they see it. Sue tries to put up a force field, not understanding that that won't do shit, and my nigga goes for a 3-point shot at half court. This is the second cuck event that Reed has survived, but all the chit chat gets cut short with General Hager shooting a missile directly at both of them, with zero regard for the safety of the Huz. And look at this nigga, bro, look at how he's getting in front of her. Reed, do something! That being said, these missiles do absolutely nothing, as he gulps one of them down with the board and smacks another one away with his bare hands. Starts thunderclapping a army's worth of tanks, and bro is getting ready for a dramatic finish until Reed finishes the setup and they successfully detach Silver Surfer from his board. This nigga Victor tases him for good measure on some petty shit, and the military takes them both into custody, separating them completely from the interrogation process because they straight up plan to torture this nigga. But before they commence with the torture process, they need to take a break. Niggas are really bad at torture, giving the Fantastic Four enough time to come up with the very simple plan of going invisible and going to talk to him anyway. Powers that are very, very well known, in fact world famous, are not taken into account at all by the US government? Sounds about right. Sue finds out that the Silver Surfer isn't the one destroying the planet, it's Galactus. And the board is what's drawing him to Earth. Turns out General Hager stopped the entire interrogation process to take Victor to do tests on the board, like that shit wasn't a secondary issue. And to no one's surprise, Victor slimes out the general and takes the board for himself, combining the aura of Dr. Doom and Silver Surfer into one creature. Hager gets off the floor and sends some shots like that would do anything to him without the board. Base Dr. Doom in this universe can easily take a bullet, and if bro just pretended to be dead for like 5 more minutes, he wouldn't have got turned into space rocks. I guess they couldn't show like gratuitous gore, so they have to settle for this cinder block ass explosion. Victor flees the military base, so the team tries to chase him in this jet after freeing a federal prisoner, and catches up relatively fast. He tries to talk no jutsu Victor out of giving up the board, but he reminds Reed that he is not the giving type, and puts out Johnny with a simple hand wave, turns around and almost disintegrates the plane that the rest of the team is in. So they split up to make themselves harder to chase, and Doom destroys an entire portion of the Great Wall of China just to kill this bitch. But Reed uses his foreskin ability to save her just in time, creating a distraction that Ben uses to clothesline Doom in midair. And now they're all stanced up around this nigga like that one Black Clover episode. So bro creates a tornado, which I thought he would have PTSD from those, and sends all of their ships crashing into the middle of the city, and flies down, materializing a poke in his hand, and he's about to plunge this hoe into Silver Surfer's chest. But at the last second, this stupid bitch jumps in front of this random stranger and ends up with a javelin in her goddamn heart. Now, forget that you just met this thing like 2 days ago. You had enough time to run up to the Silver Surfer after seeing Doom approach, which means that everyone in this situation had time to just move out of the way. And somehow she's still alive and talking, even though that she has a javelin through her lung. But as she slowly bleeds out, they have absolutely no time to think about the situation as a giant storm cloud is descending upon Earth. This universe's bum-ass depiction of Galactus. One thing that I will give to the new film is they actually gave us a fucking Galactus instead of whatever this is. So now it's a race against the clock rock to get the board back from Victor so they can save the planet from Galactus. But they realize that they're complete dog shit against the Silver Surfer, so they decide to give all of their powers to Johnny. And he starts hitting filthy animation cancels, pulling out these texts left and right. And you have to understand me when I tell you how hard this concept is. In this one scene, he goes invisible, wraps him up in the elongation ability, cranks up the flames that he's emitting from his body, turns his fist into a rock and starts beating this nigga's face in. How can you tell me that's not absolute peak? So this little maneuver that Johnny hit deactivates the device that coupled Dr. Doom to the board, leaving him open to an alley-oop, and Ben sends this nigga to the stratosphere with a crane. And as Sue Storm dies, Galactus is about to suck the planet dry. But now that the Silver Surfer has his board, he resurrects Sue Storm and flies into the Galactusy, self-destructs, blowing up the entire cloud from the inside out. No way that shit wouldn't also blow up the planet. Johnny loses his power swapping ability now that the Surfer's dead. Also, the implications of them killing Galactus is absolutely wild. Now, as of recording this, I'm going to go see the new movie in 5 hours. I'll most likely make a video reviewing the new Fantastic Four since I've already made 4 fucking videos this month about them. So like and subscribe to see that shit.